Hello and welcome back to Let's Create Together. In the last episode, all those years ago, we built this fun little battle arena where my friends and I will get to shoot each other in the face with some tasty treats like beetroots and poisonous potatoes. But there is one slight little problem. My base is kind of the most horrible place on the server. Just look at that. It's a big hole with a pile or a bunch of floating vaults, and it's not just that, it's also that it is quite difficult to gain access to this area. You just have to climb a cliff old school style. There's no staircase, there's no nothing to get up here. So before we can invite our friends to play, we need to make things easier for them. And that's our staircase. I really like how it looks, but it has two major problems. The first one is that it stops right here inside this little hill. It's supposed to go and connect with that train track over there, but it does not, so yeah, that's a big issue. Second one is that it's just a staircase. It's kind of bland and boring. So what we're gonna do to solve both of these issues, it's actually gonna have the same solution. I don't know if you knew that, but on this server we're playing with a certain mod called Create that allows stuff to move a lot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna disassemble the whole staircase and hide it in the cliff and in the ground and stuff like that. And it's gonna split open when we press a button, and it's gonna retract and move everything and just assemble the entire staircase. So I think that's gonna look a lot more cool than just that. So it might not look like it, but we're about halfway done, and it's not just that little platform here, it's mostly what this little button does. So if we press it, let's look at what happens. We see some bits of landscape getting retracted, the floor opens right here, and all sorts of bits of bridge and stairs get moved into place, and just like that we have a complete staircase. So all that's left to do is the part that was already there. I just put it into minecart contraptions for the moment because it makes them a lot easier to handle, but it's split into 3 sections because what I found out doing that bit at the bottom is that it's quite complex, more complex than I thought. So yeah, just gonna have 3 sections for that top part here. The main problem honestly is that moving landscape is pretty hard because you have to glue everything together, and it's an odd shape. Landscape is not just, a big box, and you have to glue everything together but not glue anything to the other bits that are glued together right next to it and that are gonna move differently. So it's a bit complex, and yeah, at least I've gained some experience doing that part down there, and I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. Except for maybe, that part here, I like it and I hate it at the same time. I like the idea of having this little bit with a roof that kept some dirt and grass on top of it, but in order to properly move, it kind of has to have the exact same dimensions as the bit itself. Anyway, we'll figure something out to have some bits hanging out from the side and make it look pretty eventually, but first we have to work on the rest of the stairs. It is done, it's finally done, and I gotta admit that I think was the stupidest project I've ever made in Create, and I'm never doing something like that ever again, I think. But yeah, it's done. It's there's some bits of stairs that are gonna stay there, so this little bit there, this bit there. I think it just makes it look like some ruins of an ancient civilization or something. But when we press the button, it comes to life, things start to animate. You've seen the bottom part, we're not gonna focus on that. We're gonna focus on this thing here, and that whole part is the reason why I'm saying that that is the stupidest project I've ever made. Because there's so many things moving, like in each other's way. And like when something's not at the right place, when something else starts moving and it all just goes up and connects with everything and it all gets messed up. It wasn't a fun experience. It just wasn't, but at least it looks really cool. And when the whole thing is assembled, we can see the landscape going back into place, and yeah, that looks really nice. That's the one positive part about it. It's also super slow, and it's not gonna be faster. I could try and make it faster, but it would involve working on that thing some more, and that's not gonna happen. So yeah, it's slow to assemble, and that's something that we're gonna have to deal with. It's also slow to disassemble, but that's not that big of a deal. But yeah, now that we have that, our friends can finally come over and play our games, almost, because we still have to clean up the place. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That chess monster really got out of hand, and that vault monster, it really got out of hand. I got 6 vaults full of deep slate, plus 1 that's, I don't know how much there is into it, but potentially 7 vaults filled with deep slate. I'm never gonna need that much deep slate ever, so I think I'm gonna sell a few of those vaults over to Carl, because he's gonna need those. Apparently he's gonna need a lot of deep slate. But yeah, once this thing is moved out of the way, we're gonna be able to place our little elevator here. We're gonna remove it and we're gonna put it here. I think that's gonna be like the best spot to put the elevator. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, first we need to clean up all that mess. All of that. And all of that. Luckily, to move these vaults, we can always turn them into minecart contraptions. But first we're gonna have to remove these little chutes. So if we put a minecart here, gonna need some glue. I forgot to bring some redstone power thingy. There we go. This trusty lever will do the trick. Now I'm not sure if I have to glue the entire vault together. No, I do not. That's great. So we can move this thing up. Oh, I'm gonna have to bring all of that stuff still, so we can disassemble it here, like this. So, perfect. Bring another one. Wait a second. Let's correct that. And that's 4 volts full of deep slate wrapped and sent to Carl, and we have taken care of the rest of the chest monster and vault monster, moved everything into this secret storage down here, which is just another pile of vaults and chests, but you know, just vaults for the bulk. The rest is in chests. I don't mind sorting things manually, so that's good enough. So all my stuff is down here. And the only thing left up here is, well, this thing. I'm gonna remove it eventually, but mostly this new little elevator. I tried to make some kind of a little wicker basket type of thing. I think it works well. And yeah, we got a working elevator to bring us down at the bottom of the hole, which is not where we're gonna go right now, because there's a few things we need to do up top, because this little wicker basket is kind of the only thing that I made with a style in mind. So we have to work on making that thing look pretty, as well as this bridge. I tried something with these chassis blocks. It didn't really work, but I tried. We're gonna make something better, and then we're gonna need to connect this little bridge to the stairs that we made earlier. So we're gonna make another little road. We're probably gonna pick the same kind of color palette as this. Might remove a few of those trees and plant some just on the side of the road. It's gonna make a pretty entrance to our base. And with that, we got a pretty little path. As I said, same block palette as I used for the stairs. I just used a different texture. So here we have bricks as well as those blocks, and I really like how they work within the whole thing. I'm actually thinking of adding even more of those, especially for granite, because there isn't a lot of those. But yeah, that's the path. That's the bridge. I also kept with the same kind of palette, or I tried to link the palette to this path, so the middle out of brass is kind of tying it with the ochrum. The granite is kind of, well, it's not the same color, but you know, works with the copper trap doors, and the trim made out of that pink wood, the cherry wood, kind of ties it in with the trim of rose petals on the side, so I'm quite happy with how that whole thing turned out. Now, we have to work on that thing, because it's still pretty ugly, and the thing that I've planned to make this prettier, it's gonna be a bit complicated to build, so what I decided to do was to use a schematic cannon. I've never used those before, and they are super cool. It's kind of like Matica, kind of, but it builds it. It's gonna shoot blocks into place and build the whole thing for me, so I can just sit back and watch it do its job. It's gonna be fantastic. The only thing we're allowed to bring into the arena is potato cannons and backpack tanks. Like you're wearing. No food. Food will be given inside the arena, but food is also ammo. So You can bring 2 cannons, though.
Aw, dual wield.
No, that does.
Okay.
That will not be fair. So,
Okay.
yeah, there's no rules other than that, really.
Excuse me.
Hey, no hitting each other. Yeah, there's gonna be one rule. You don't hit each other with potato cannons. You just shoot.
He's making this up as he goes along.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is.
I absolutely am. Also, if you fall down, please keep yelling because it's gonna be funny because of proximity chat. And so started the game. Sadly, we very early on found a big problem with the concept. The fact that the platform was tilting back and forth made it very hard to hit with the potato cannons. It might be a position calculation thing, or maybe we were just too bad, but it just didn't work, so I went down and deactivated the tilting mechanism, and we just went on to shoot each other in the face with vegetables for 20 minutes. Utter chaos took over pretty quick, and the boundaries of the arena kind of didn't really matter anymore. Vegetable-based violence was the only option. We saw many deaths, some pretty glorious and others a bit less. But let's be honest, if you're still here, we all know exactly what you want to see. Oh, that's cheating. Hey! Horrible.
Yeah. Well, and the rain's probably not helping either.
Dang it. No! Stupid rain not letting you be on fire. Oh. No! But I'm not the only one that died. Dodd and Carl also had some pretty spectacular deaths.
No!
Oh, I fell! That's no bueno.
So the game didn't turn out to be exactly as I had planned it to, and you know what? That's perfectly okay. We learned from it and we're gonna make some adjustments and it's gonna be a lot more fun. So that thing, the idea of the wobbly platform, we're not gonna keep it for the potato cannon game, we're gonna instead reuse it for another game. It's gonna be a cardboard sword fighting game, which we can't really have right now because I didn't really address it, but we are playing on the fabric version of the mod, and it's not updated yet as I'm recording this, so yeah, we don't have that yet. But once it's out, we're gonna use that thing for a battle arena, but with cardboard swords. And the potato cannon thing is gonna have its own battle arena. It's gonna be bigger, the respawn points are gonna be inside. There's gonna be a bunch of changes that are gonna make it a lot more fun, I think. But sadly, all of that's gonna have to happen in the future because we don't really have any more time for today's episode. So we're gonna have to end things here. I really hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Well, it's good that we got to playtest this. Ew. Oh, you're pretty. You're such
Ew,
pretty.
oh, you're pretty.
There's a Carl pretending to be me, pretending to cheat.